Hey everybody, I'm East Coast Pete. This is part two of my show about the Doors. Picking up where we left off, the Soft Parade was a success, even though it was denounced by critics as schmaltz due to the strings and horn accompaniment. Fifth album, Morrison Hotel, was a return to their early sound without the orchestration of the Soft Parade. Roadhouse Blues, with John Sebastian on harmonica, was a huge hit. Raunchy and boozy, a driving song. Every garage band in the States covered it. So did East Coast Pete. Jim was drowning in alcohol. He had a breakdown in New Orleans during the Roadhouse tour, and the band decided to quit touring. Probably a good idea. Jim was now a sloppy drunk, bearded and bloated. Then in 1971, the album L.A. Woman was well received. Mark Beno played rhythm guitar and Jerry Jeff played bass. The singles were Love Her Madly, Riders on the Storm, and the title track, Mr. Mojo Risin'. Remember that, right? Mr. Mojo Risin'. That was actually an anagram of Mr. Jim Mo Rison, or Jim Morrison. It was eerie, as if Jim's spirit was leaving his body, which it did in France not long after. The 7 members of the 27 Club are Jim, Brian Jones, Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, Kurt Cobain, Amy Winehouse, and Jean-Michel Basquiat. Another album, titled Other Voices, was in preliminary stages at the time of Jim's death. Krieger and Manzarek finished the vocals. It was not released on CD until 2006. It was successful and went to number 31. In 1972, the Doors released Full Circle, their 8th studio album. The Mosquito was the Doors' last single to chart. The album is seen as jazz rock. The Mosquito was sung in Spanish, as it had been inspired by mariachi musicians in Mexico when Krieger vacationed there. But the Doors disbanded in 1973. They had a reunion in 1978 to record the album An American Prayer. This was music added to voice recordings of Jim's poetry. It was a success, going platinum. Ray Manzarek died in 2013 at the age of 74 due to bile duct cancer. There has been a sustained interest of the Doors on film, written material, tribute bands, and reissues of the 8 albums. Radio stations, like classical rock stations, consider the Doors a staple. Apocalypse Now will forever be associated with the end. That's the part of the soundtrack with all the fire going on, bombs coming down. The Best of the Doors, released in 2007, was certified diamond with sales of 10 million plus. And now Jim's appeal as a frontman has launched thousands of cover bands and was influential of the punk movement. He was Dionysus to a generation of young admirers. And if you're watching this today, you probably realize that the Doors are still very much alive in the mind of many of the generations that have come after. There's something about their music that really lives on. It's extremely Americana, if you ask me. I don't think any other band anywhere in the world has ever been quite like the Doors. And I don't think there's been ever a lead singer quite like Jim Morrison. Although some have tried, some to their sad detriment. But the point is that Jim, like any mortal, had his faults. And we can learn from that. Much as we love his art, we can learn to dislike the struggles that he had with the world and its pitfalls. So today I'm hoping that we can all just take a lesson here, step back and say, 27 is not an older age. There's a lot more to life after 27. I'm living proof of that. I guess you probably didn't need to be told that. But you know what? An old guy like me doing herb and pills and shooting up is sad. I'm not saying that drug abuse is only for kids. I'm saying drug abuse is for no one. Nowhere. And no when. And no when not. Thanks for being with me on Rock is Saved. How can rock be saved when Jim passed away? Well, his spirit lives on. Right? See you next time.